Do you have a product that you're selling online? If you've answered yes, then you're in the right place. If you'd answered no, then you're still in the right place because you don't have a product, which means you need one to sell. If you have no product to sell, then you're obviously not making any money. In this video, I am going to help you start making money by helping you identify the products that are going to help start your online business. So if you're looking to start a business, say on Amazon, for example, then you can go ahead and you can set up your account and take tons of courses that you need to get familiar with the process. But during that time, you're not making any money. Why? It's because you don't have a product. And without a product, there's no money. So this video is going to give you some tips on how to find that perfect product. But before we start, you need to ask yourself a few questions. First question is, have you spent more than 3 days looking for a product to sell? 2, have you spent 7 days? How about 30 days? How about months? Well, you're not alone because the most common obstacle that people face is actually finding that perfect product. So if you answered yes to the questions, then you are suffering from PPS, Perfect Product Syndrome. So perfect product syndrome is product overwhelm. Too many products, too many ideas, too many things to know about products, too many distractions. There's just too many choices. And it just feels overwhelming. I kind of feel overwhelmed just talking to you about this. Perfect product syndrome is disguised as fear, and fear comes up in so many different ways for an entrepreneur. Most commonly, it's fear of starting, and for good reason, because starting a new business or any business is pretty scary. There's just so much to know, not to mention the statistics for success. It's not in the entrepreneur's favor. Did you know that less than 10% of entrepreneurs actually succeed in business? You know why? It's because of overwhelm. It's because of fear. It's because of lack of clarity and information. It's because of PPS. All these factors create doubts and obstacles that prevent the entrepreneur from just even starting. Now, I'm not here to scare you. Just to point out to you that if you don't gain the clarity and don't recognize the fear and resonate and embrace with your PPS, it will prevent you from moving forward and making money. The hardest part of business really is just starting. So how would you feel if I told you I can free you from PPS, from perfect product syndrome? That's right, that's feeling of overwhelm. I can help stop that feeling, help you stop being afraid, help you gain the knowledge that you need to find that perfect product. Now, it's a pretty bold statement, right? Remember, we at Consider It Made have been creating products, sourcing and importing products for over 35 years for the big box stores. This is second nature to us. We know what sells in retail stores. We know what products should look like, how they should be packaged, how they should be labeled. We know where the best places are to find products. And we understand the lingo of sourcing and importing. We understand manufacturing and distributing and trading companies' tactics. Now, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed because I know you already are suffering from PPS, but I'm here with a cure. So let me get you focused and give you the clarity that you need so you can start finding the products that are going to help make you money. So there are 8 key characteristics that make a perfect product, and so let's discuss them. 1, does it have unique features? Now this is something that you really need to consider, and I love the example of the oil mister. I remember when the oil mister came out, I thought, what is this? But let me tell you, I have one in my house and I love it. And the thing about it is, it was unique. It was something very different. So again, does it have unique features? 2, who is your target audience? And this is of utmost importance. You need to know who you're selling to. Is it men? Is it women? Children? What age group? What are their likes? What are their dislikes? All this stuff is very important when picking a product, because if you know who you want to be working with, you know who your client is, then you'll be able to find a perfect product for them, a product that they're going to be buying over and over and over again. 3, does it solve a problem? One of the most important things to consider. And I love to use the example of the hair straightener. Now, I have really curly, fuzzy hair, and I love the hair straightener because it actually solved my problem. When I use it, I don't have curly, fuzzy hair anymore. So again, does it solve a problem? 4, can you easily explain how it works? Because if you can explain how it works, then you can explain to others how it works. And this is really important. I think of like the left-handed scissors, kind of a little complicated in thought, but you have to be able to explain it and explain it with passion and emotion. 5, does it cause a transformation or a change in someone's life? And I think of like a weight loss product. You know, a lot of the weight loss products claim that you'll lose tons of weight. Again, there's a claim to that. It shows that there's transformation that will occur to your life, that will change your life if you take this product. So really important. 6, is there something that you can find that can be used in different industries? So look at brushes. Brushes can be used in art. It can be used in the makeup industry. 7, what are the stats or the statistics behind the product that prove that it works? So what is the evidence? And I think of those wristbands, those mosquito wristbands. And if you look at some of the packages, they claim 99% effective with getting rid of mosquitoes. So there's a claim to that, and a lot of people are attracted to that. So look at that as well. And the last one is the product something you personally would buy? And this is really important because if you are not going to be buying it, why would your customers be buying it? Make sense? So all this is really important. But again, I want to tell you what you need to really consider is that there really is no perfect product. And that's really the cure to PPS, to the perfect product syndrome. There is no such thing as a perfect product because you are the one creating the perfect product. So the perfect product is really you and your creativity. So let me just add a little thing here because you also need to take into account when finding the perfect product 3 important secrets. So one of the things that you need to consider that is really, really important, and I talked about it briefly, is to be passionate about your product, having emotion around it, because it's contagious and it attracts people to it, especially when you're talking about it and in the content that you use. So 2, know your customers. And I cannot even stress this enough. You need to know your customers. And I always say, find a customer like yourself. So if I'm going to use me as an example, I want to find a customer like me. Someone who is passionate about healthcare, who's, in their 40, 50 range, woman, a mom, someone I can relate to, someone I have a lot that I can share with. And this is really, really important because how great would it be to have a customer like yourself? I buy on emotion and I worry about certain things and I try to find solutions to them. So again, look at the characteristics of who you actually want to be selling to and then find a product that you can sell to them. So figure out who your market is first, who that little niche is going to be in order for you to be able to sell a product to them. Because a lot of people, what I'm hearing from people is that I just don't know what kind of product to sell. So again, what kind of product would you actually buy, right? 3, love the product you pick, but do not marry it. And when I say do not marry it, this is something that's kind of hard to understand, but you're going to pick a product you love, but there are times when this product you may have to abandon or have to give up, walk away from. So it may have been a big selling item and you may have to walk away from it. And there's a couple of reasons. 1, it may have been a phase and it no longer is a big selling item. 2, it might have been hijacked or someone may have stolen your idea and using it themselves. We take a selected group of clients with us on a China sourcing trip each year. And before we go, we spend a lot of time doing exercises with these 3 important secrets. And let me tell you why, because it's really, really important that you really hone in on your market. And we spend a lot of time here because when you go to China and you go to these trade fairs, it is so overwhelming. Talking about PPS, oh my God, so overwhelming because you're visiting manufacturers and distributors. So just imagine, we all know Alibaba. So just imagine Alibaba Live times 1,000. That's how many manufacturers and distributors you meet when you're with us on this trip. So many. So it makes the trip so much easier when you have narrowed down your search. So when you know your target, you'll be going to these fairs knowing exactly what area your product should be in. So you'll be able to narrow down who you're networking with, what manufacturers and distributors, so that you can actually pick the perfect product and not waste time. So it's really, really effective when we're doing our trip to China that you really learn the ins and outs of finding your target so that when we're in China, it's very effective for you to implement. So if you decide to come to China with us on our next trip, it will be in April, and we're going to spend some time with you to really hone in on this so that you can maximize business overseas. So please join Neil in the next video where he is going to give you some tips on how to take advantage of sourcing right now and tips on how to implement them immediately. We'll see you soon.